Are we live? Is it Friday? Are you alive? Are we here? Yay! Friday's my favorite day. It's because we get to hang out and it's the end of the week. And I don't know if y'all are as excited to slam dunk a week as I am, but let me tell you, especially this one. So, welcome in. It's Friday Night Live. We're all here together. We're here to do some Labradorite love. We've got some studio updates and some magnificent things going on. Just chock full of excitement. I can barely contain myself. But first, I would love to say hello to all of you. Embraces and Steinkerns. Theo is in the house all the way from his vacation out in the Florida region, I believe, or maybe he's even moved on yet. I don't know. He's just that rambling rock that doesn't ever get moss on it. However that goes. I think I just destroyed whatever saying that thing was. Randy is here in the house, and cheers to you. Randy was having some Earl Grey, and I was actually just telling Theo that I feel like one of the tools that I have added to the studio feels like a replicator kind of. And so I was telling it to make me some square wire and Earl Grey hot. So some of you trekkers out there, Trekkies might get that one. Blind Squirrel Rocks is in the house. Good to see you. Created Rocks with Dan the Rock Man is here. So good to see you too. And Allison is here. She must not be a pickin' and a grinning tonight, but I'm glad that you can join us, Allison. So good to see you. Did I say hi to John? It's not time for me to double up yet, quite yet, but hey, John's here, Sonia's here, and Melissa's here. Visage de Vie LLC is here. Kind of like our La Femme Mécanique. I'll bet you she's wandering around in here too. I did see some of y'all earlier before we got the live stream chat started, and it's been just an avalanche since y'all started showing up. I've been keeping one eyeball on it and keeping the other eyeball on trying to get everything sorted out for this evening. There's so much stuff I want to share that it seems like too much. But it's never too much, right? All right. And let's see. Kirk is in the house. Good to see you. Just returned from a trip to Ashland and caught Macbeth. Ah, Macbeth. Um, actually, Macbeth, is that the Scottish play? Too. Oh, there we go. Oh my goodness. Did anybody else get Circle of Death or was that just me? I see uh-ohs. And I think there's like a 10-second delay on the chat. And so everybody sit tight. If that happens a little bit this weekend, I think we've got a lot of people in town. Our interwebs doesn't love the extra load. And so Cynthia is in the house. Good to see you. She shared some stuff over on the Discord from her microscope that was really, really cool. Hi, everyone, working and listening. Very, very awesome. Cindy is also here. Earl Grey, hot. Yes. I love it. And then the other thing that you do is just like tug on your uniform. That's a little bit more first generation though. And Allison is telling everybody to go sub on Visage. So that is very sweet. I'm going to have to go check it out. Just joined the Discord over there. So howdy do. I'm your host over there as well. the hostess with the mostest. I'm all over the place. And so if you'd like to join the Discord as Visage just did, then maybe one of my mods can toss up the link that'll take you over to our Discord, and you can play shows and tells, hang out, chat with all of us all week long. It's a good thing. And Ken says, "Whoa, deep thoughts have upset the YouTube." Yes. Apparently, who's having deep thoughts out there? Because I don't know if it was me. And Thea thought it was on his end, and yet I believe, yeah, it's cramping hard over here. It needs electrolytes. So at any rate, here we go. What's in your mug this evening? I know that some of y'all have your hurl tea hot. I'm gonna wet my whistle, and I'm wishing you and yours all the best. Steinkern, salute, skull, all those things. And everybody hydrate here. Kirk is setting me straight. Macbeth is, in fact, the Scottish play. Yeah, I did the Hamlet thing first, and then I had to retract the Hamlet. How many times a week do you have to retract the Hamlet? Um, and for some reason, whenever I say Hamlet, I think of omelet. I don't know why. But y'all, that's also one of my favorite mystery science theater um, episodes. Is there's a German Hamlet that they do, and it is really good. So if you like your MST3K with omelets on the side, then definitely go check out the one that they've got on Hamlet. I mean, you can't beat some MST3K and Shakespeare at the same time. That was a rare treat. So thank you for that, Kurt. And oh, this is important. So of course, we've got our announcements at the top of the live stream, and Allison has one. First of all, let me compliment Allison on a super duper fun live stream that she had on her Wednesday. So Wednesday mornings, you guys, if you love your live streams and you want to live stream with coffee in the morning, then join Allison Prairie Girl Rocks. Wonderful time. Thank you for that. And then she is inviting us all to check out the live sale, the Topher Spin sale on YouTube this weekend. And she will include her pretty jewelry. And I think there was something like 11 vendors or something like that were going to be on that. So she has shared a link in the chat. So go ahead and check that out. That's going to be a good time. You know it. Out, damn spot. Yes, Ken. Yes, we're all on the same wavelength here now. And we have Jeff in the house. Good to see you. Thank you for joining. And have I seen the video of Leonard Nimoy singing the Hobbit song? Oh, yes. It is so good. Leonard Nimoy is so awesome. And of course, Kirk's tambourine man. You can't beat that stuff with a stick. I used to be in radio, and so every now and again, we'd have to pull out the vinyls that had that fun stuff. Yes, vinyl. We did have CDs as well, but it was a radio station that had been on the air since the 50s. And we had all this just delicious vinyl. I mean, if you could eat it, you would. It was so good. So, yeah, ham omelet. Ham omelet. That's it, Visage. I'm so glad you're part of our community now. You totally get me. um Hamlet is Danish. No, not the dessert. Right, Kirk? And, yep, Sandmaker is right there too. Randy, see, we've all got the unagi going on right now. Excellent. And, yes, Randy, Allison is great indeed. Um, and so spin of death is lurking. I love you guys. I love that. I used to get to go to the Shakespeare Fest in Cedar City, and oh, what a good time. And that was mostly with family. Beautiful outdoor venue, like a proper Shakespeare experience for sure. Um, I'm forgetting the name of uh, the theater, but they have a proper one. And so maybe one of you guys in the chat will help me. I know that that Kirk would know, having just been there. The one that we have here in Oregon is definitely like it's a heavy player because it also has the proper theater as well. The Globe, thank you. Kabam! Ken gets it. Boom. Globe for 200. Karen. Excellent. Hey, Manny's in the house. Which I'm glad. I'm hoping that a few of the folks that are into faceting congeal here in the next little bit, because I have some questions for you. And I think that Boot, the spicy one, or one of the folks that we have over at the Discord, actually also has the Facetron, which is the machine that I use. And so we're going to be getting into that here in a second. I just love the myriad of tangents that we can embark upon during the intro, though, because of just saying hi. Yeah, Shatner doing Rocket Man. Oh my gosh. Oh, so epic. So good, you guys. And yes, the unagi. Yeah, not anago, the unagi. It's, you have to have the proper eel too. And yep, Sandmaker knew the globe as well. You guys are so like, cultured. I I don't know if I can hang out with you guys because you're so very, very cultured and know the stuff. And Theo does the faceting. Yes. I'm glad that you are here, Theo. Because the faceting and the things. And yes, Visage loves the faceted quartzes. We do love that. And Melissa loves buying faceted things. Yes, we have some collectors, and we love our collectors, and we love you guys so much for appreciating the things that get made. Very much. We're like a fine cheese. We're like a fine cheese. It's funny. I think my eyes are blurry today because I was hanging out outside getting some work done, which we'll see a little bit of a picture on that. And I was in some bright light and I was squinting the whole time, and I got some color. When that sun isn't glaring so much, I'm sure that you're going to see that my Oregon skin is getting some color on it because it's been nice enough to go and work outside. It's been fantastic. And Manny, woohoo! Check this out. I've started my first rectangle design this week. That's so exciting. You get to use the V on the transfer. I don't like it. I have had bad luck with the V. Not that I'm like, oh, I shouldn't even say that because I don't want you to get all freaked out. But like, boy, me and V dops are just. Um, I like try to do squares and circles and things so I can stick with cones. It's pretty ridiculous. And let's see, that's like a month away from the shop, dang near. Huh, is he talking about Mars? I'm wondering how like, what is that far away from the shop that it's a month away? Um, I have to fill him in. Um, and people are being confused, and that's good. That's what we do here. We're gonna scramble our eggs into a good Hamlet. this evening, it'll be good. And awesome. Cindy has joined the Discord. Oh, welcome. I'll be over there and welcome you after the live stream is over tonight. Excellent. And so what we've got going on, um, let me just get started with this. Steinkern, everyone. So I did ask you guys what you would like, and oh my gosh, thank you guys who have already gotten some of the merch. I really, really appreciate that. Any of the proceeds go to the channel, of course, and then yay, we get like some cool merch out of it. But one thing that somebody said was like, okay, you don't have the dark shirts, like everybody loves black, black shirts, right? And so where are the black and the dark shirts? Because the graphic was dark. The whole first bunch of the Steinkerns were all on lighter things. And okay, I see you, I hear you. So here's Steinkern, but the light one, drink. All right. And so more of that. I'll have a whole nother rollout of things that the light the light letters go onto dark things. And so I was telling you guys that I had a new shop tool, and I didn't get to it for 2 live streams on Friday and Sunday. I kept on like, oh, I got this new tool, and I did show you guys the meter that I got for the Facetron, but I did not show you this. And so this is super exciting. It is a rolling mill. Those of you who don't do jewelry might not recognize it. Those of you who do jewelry, then you probably have wondered to yourself, if you don't have a mill, is this any good? And then if you do have a mill and it's one of like a Durston or something really good, then you're going like, okay, she got the Viver or Vever or however you say that. And yep. And I have to say that I have a very good friend who is in the chat, and that person referred. We have a joke with the podcast that everybody has a shoulder Jared, and it's the guy that tells you not to lick rocks. and like, be careful of the spicy rocks, like, the things that Jared would say to you. And in this case, we have this rolling mill that Theo, who is the devil on my other shoulder, he said, who tells me like, yeah, go ahead and facet this. Here's this design that you have to try. It might be, it might look crazy, but it's going to be super fun and it's going to be beautiful. Do it. And when it came around to rolling mills, I was like, oh, Viver kind of can go either way with quality and that sort of thing. He got one and he's like, oh my gosh, you totally have to get this. I mean, I don't think he said it exactly like that. He might have. I would have to ask him. He do be lurking, though. It says Theo. And yeah, I was like, okay, you really think that this is a good jump for, I can't afford the high zoot one, and this is affordable, so I went ahead and popped on it, and angels singing with the, in like an acapella with my shoulder devil. Theo. I love it so much. And so the kinds of things that you can do with it, you take lumps of metal and you can make sheet metal. You can take sheet metal and you can make square wire or half round wire, for rings and that sort of thing. And so what we have here as far as our picture depicts a sheet of copper that impossibly, it is just fat. I think it's 16 gauge, super duper fat gauge. And I don't know if you guys noticed, but for my Makers Challenge, I actually had to hammer a bit of this very sheet for the project from the 16 gauge to take it down to 18 gauge, which, believe me, you don't want to have to do it just by wielding a hammer. That is the way that they did it during the old days. And you can see my calipers up there so that I can check what gauge I'm on and that sort of thing. And we've got folks that are trying to figure out the Discord. And so this I wanted some square wire. I'm playing with the thing, and so I cut some. The little wire on the left hand side is kind of fresh through the machine, and you can see it's kind of wonky. And then you keep on going, and a section of that wire that I was working on, I cut, and it became the one that's next to it. And then as that was getting processed, I cut it, and it became the one that's next to it. That's the shortest piece. And so it's insane how cool these things work, and it made me my Earl Grey tea. This is the replicator that I was talking about. It just, I think I need a slice of metal, and boom. So yeah, here's Theo's comment. I freaking love my Beaver mill. It has no right to be as good as it is. And it's so true. It is so true. I can't believe how cool this guy ended up. And I want to go ahead and assert right now, I have no affiliation. I have a friend affiliation with Theo, but like what I'm saying is that I'm not getting kickbacks from Beaver or Vever, however you say it. It just turns out to be a really smooth move. And so just going back to, that's what it looks like. And it was worth every single penny. And after, those of you who are jewelers, after you do a couple projects, it will pay for itself. And so I am beside myself. So here are a couple examples of some things that I made right off of the bat. Hey, I'm using a bunch of copper here because silver skyrocketed to almost $30 a troy ounce. I think it's calmed down and come back down to like $28.50 or something like that. It is crazy. And so I've been playing also, just because of the rolling mill, having fun with the copper material first so that I can figure out what's going on with it, and then I'll move on to doing the silver. But the pair on the left hand side that has the cat's eye quartz, that I actually rolled the sheet with hydrangea blossoms, and the texture that you see there, that's highlighted by the liver of sulfur dark that you see as far as the dark lines of patina there. It goes into where the hydrangea blossoms veins were. And so those are actually hydrangea blossom cat's eye quartz earrings. And then the ones on the right, that square wire that we were just looking at, are the hangers there over the top of those. That's graveyard point plume agate with marcasite in it. And then I rolled the sheet to a more earring, 16 gauge is so really super fat, guys. And so I rolled it until it was more of a behaved sheet thickness, and they became the earrings. And so we have, no, for real. Oh, and Mom's in the house. Everybody say hi to Mom. Hi, Mom. We're talking about rolling mills. I certainly didn't have it when you were here. So there's my rolling mill, Mom. It's an inexpensive one. It's not steep like the one that you would have loved to have had, but this one's seemingly so far every bit as good. There's an example of the wire from sheet that I've been rolling. And here's some finished earrings that happened. And everybody's saying howdy to Mom. And Theo Kellison is saying, no, for real. the fact most mills are pushing 4 figures, it's true, is like the mini ones are in the high hundreds. And then if you want to like get a full size one, we're into 4 figures. So the Viver is absolutely perfect and only costs like 100 and some odd bucks. I doubt I'll upgrade. Honestly, it works perfectly. And, if that's not like between the two of us, we sound like we're having, testimonials or something about it. But I mean, it's just a game changer. If you don't have one and you can have one, you might as well have one because, especially with the price of silver, the way that it is, it's hard to get your projects done because it's so expensive to buy your sheet and bezel and the different stuff. And with a mill, you can melt down your snips and your extras and the jewelry that might be damaged or stuff that you can buy at uh, you know uh, sales and that sort of thing. You can melt it down and it can become it. The mill makes it do your bidding. Like, okay, well, do you want sheet from that melted down jewelry, or would you like some wire or whatever? And so it's super cool. All right. And so and Visage is prophetically saying that oh, excuse me guys, hold on just a second. Not 100% better yet, will continue to rise. And I believe you are correct. And so it's worthwhile to look into some of these alternative things to do for sure. And it's cool stuff. Let's see. We've got Rufo is in the house. Good to see you. I was trying to buy 1 or 2 ounces of crystal silver for my sales and Patreon members, but my guy stopped selling a few months back. Just returned now, and the prices have jumped up. But maybe still buying. Yeah, I mean it's crazy. People have been talking about that a bunch. Like the last time I ordered, it was this much, and now it's like a whole nother half again more. And then do we pass this on to our wonderful clients? Like, I can't charge a third again more or a half again more. It's crazy. So Rocky Mountain Bear is here. Good. And now it's a party, guys. It's Friday night. That's music to my ears. As much as I love hammering the crap out of silver, oh man, it's therapy. I am with you, brother. I have been wanting a mill for oh so long. And it's oh so sassy because it's affordable and it works really well. Like the first thing that I did is I drilled holes in a cart and I bolted it to the cart. And now it lives actually. Here, let's do this really. I do that every time. So, whoops, going in the wrong way again. There you have it. I don't have a parrot on my shoulder, but I've got the mill. And so that's actually one of those little cooking carts that you can have in your kitchen or whatever. I bolted it on. It's a tall one, you can see. So it's like right at the perfect place for me to be able to crank it. And so it can live over there against the wall. But if I need to move it, I can move it around. If it needs to be in a better place for process as I'm banging stuff out. And yeah, literally banging. I mean, you get to still do hammering, Rocky, because, if you've got like a weird shaped ingot that comes out, you can do some hammering and fire. So to make the metal soft, you anneal it with fire, hammer it, anneal it some more with the fire. So you get to do your torching and your hammering, and then you mill it. And then every few turns through the mill, you get to fire it again if you want. And so, I mean, it's all the things that I love. It's the hammering, it's the firing. It's just wonderful. And so, yeah, I would, I would endorse it. And I'm really glad that Theo kind of, he likes to push me over the cliff, I think, on like a weekly basis or something. And this was like, for me, it was kind of a push over the cliff because I usually, I'm constantly very careful with the stuff in the bank. And so it was really a stretch to like, okay, I'm just going to go ahead and get this thing. But, he endorsed it. And so that was all I needed. The Theo stamp of approval was all I needed at all. And here he goes again with honestly, the biggest upside to the mill is saving money on silver, right? You can recycle all your scrap, which is huge, but the better side is that you don't need to buy pre-cut pieces. Right. And Theo makes a great point there as far as the cut pieces and deciding on a certain gauge and just being happy with that. You can start with something super thick to make settings out of, and then you can roll it until it becomes, something for the body of a piece, like the body for earring or whatever. It's so awesome. It's like having a superhero cape for a jeweler. And so, yeah, I'm really, really happy with that. So thank you, Theo, for your great guidance as far as that is concerned. Everybody's saying hi to Mom. Thank you, guys. That's awesome. And let's see. The copper was crazy, Cindy says too. Hence, everyone was stealing it, right, out of fixtures. And it is cheaper. Yeah, copper is still cheaper than silver, and so I like doing mixed metal jewelry, and so that's what I was doing. Oh, I'm ringing and dropping my phone all at the same time, and so let's see. There's the old fastening machine that's also in the news. But before we go on, like bezel or half round costs way more than grain, right? So buying the grain and making your ingots and wire blanks yourself, so you save a ton of money when getting silver because you can just buy raw and process it yourself. The mill is absolutely incredible. Yep, can't say enough about how rad it is. Oh no. Really? Somebody was selling one for $50. Wow. Well, you could always see if they still have it. And Benjamin is here in the house. And not only is Benjamin using his velour, but also the beaver. Yeah. um Velour sounds so cushy. So use your velour and your beaver for all of your jewelry needs. Absolutely. And yeah, Theo's saying that love the hammering, of course, and the texture looks really cool. But let me tell you, pulling the texture from the mill is so much fun. I like went running outside. I'm like, okay, hydrangea and ferns, and here, what does a stick do? I mean, it is so cool to play with the rolling mill. I made a whole bunch of sheet to have fun with just because. Tiger Eye is in the house. Good to see you. Thanks for saying hi to Mom, and thank you for your support. You know how come. Love you. Thank you. Yeah, Melissa is sold. Oh my gosh. You guys tell them that Theo and Karen sent you. Maybe maybe they'll consider supporting our causes or something. And yes, Allison is talking about keeping the wire wrapping scraps. You definitely want to be able to melt that stuff down. And Allison, since your son is forging, it would be cool. Somebody help me out with the Makunagani. Did I say that right? The folded metal, Damascus is kind of like a version of it, but the Japanese folding of metal where, you can take the silver and the copper and fold it together and you make the awesome layered sheet. I want to do that so bad. Need a forged for that, but I know that Theo is going to push me over the edge again. Uh, and let's see, Rufo's saying that there's something on Temu for 89. I don't know. I just got it directly from Viver, and they have some discounts that you can use. And so those of you who are savvy with that sort of thing, do that. And you can get it, you can whittle that price right down for the 3-inch. You can get it down to right around $100, like Theo said. Free shipping. Great, great stuff. And I mean, seriously, I'm not selling this at all. And Jackie is here. Good to see you. I'm here, and listening brain can't keep up with chat though. But she's here. Okay, well, I hope that you are feeling all right, Jackie, and we're so glad that you have joined us. Theo's saying that he thought that his was about 115. And I think that I went ahead and choked down. I think mine was just shy of 130. And that was fine. Like, I don't mind spending that. I know that people have whittled it down one way or another, right down towards the 100 mark, and so that's great. It's worth every single penny. If you get it anywhere near that price zone, you are styling. You are made in the shade, and you're going to be rolling deep, rolling, rolling, rolling. You know what? She said, keep rolling, rolling, rolling. Come on. And so usually when I push over the cliffs, it's for good things. It's so true. It's so true. No, I like, yeah, she protests too much. I absolutely need it. And so I'm so glad that you do these things. I really, really appreciate it. And so here we are looking at my fabulous Facetron machine. I am so excited about it. I'm getting you a better look at the dial up there at the top of the picture on the right-hand side next to the mast, or, you know, right behind the quill area is that dial. And I thank Wyatt over at Facetron for hooking me up with this. And here's the question for the facetors. I'm going to be making a video, and it's going to be on the faceting machine that I have, obviously, the Facetron, but it's going to be a start to finish for making a gemstone out of rough, and it's going to take on like sort of a tutorial video kind of flavor. And I want to know from all y'all, like, when you were starting off, what sort of thing did you really need to have answered for you? And so you can either leave it in the comments, or you can leave it in the chat, or wherever. But it's a question, an earnest question that I would love your crowd brain help with, on account that I'm going to be making this video, and I really want it to kind of contain those things that, like, gosh, you know, I really wish that I had Theo sitting on my shoulder telling me this thing before I had to hack through and figure it out by myself. And so I would love that input from y'all who are faceting. And if you don't facet yet, this is great too, because any questions that you have about faceting are completely relevant for me to answer while making this video as well. So I'm asking all y'all, from the experience and all the way to the I haven't touched a faceting machine, but I really have a question about this thing, because I knew I was all full of questions. I didn't touch this machine for the first, I think it sat in my downstairs for probably, I don't know, a couple months before I had read everything that I felt like I needed to, before I even, like, I tested to see if it worked, and that was it. So, you know, I was a little intimidated. I'm going to say it. I'm going to say it out loud. So I thank you for that. And yeah, everybody's kind of helping out everybody to figure out how to get ordering done without getting the falseness happen to you. Boy, I had a friend that just lost a lot of money from that. And so you do want to be so careful You don't want to be scammed for sure. And that's why, when I was ready, I went ahead and just ordered straight from the company. They have you join their little club and you get a discount for doing that. And then you can find a discount code for yet some more. And it's, I don't know, definitely worth it. And yes, Sonia, tutorial-ish. Well, because like I don't want to come off like, oh, I'm making a tutorial, because that would like bring about the assumption that I know stuff. And I consider myself, I've got like over 100 gems now under my belt, but I still consider myself a beginner. Really, I do. I'll probably still consider myself a beginner after 5 years of doing this. There is such a vast amount to learn. And that's not to dissuade anybody from starting up that hill or mountain. It's just that the more, it's like anything else, the more you realize about this wonderful thing that you're doing, the more you realize you don't know. And so I want to do like a startup tutorial that makes you feel empowered by answering the questions that you do have, and then offering that, there's just like this wonderful, it's like looking out at the ocean. You can't even see what the horizon brings. It's just so open. And so it's a good time. And Theo is talking about being paranoid. Yeah, paranoid for sure. And we have Melissa's input. Patrick's facet vid was great. Made me afraid to look at my wedding ring too closely. LOL. Yeah. I love watching people's faceting videos, and I love what they bring to the table. And I've been asked to create one, and so I want to make it as specific to people's questions as possible, to make it of value, because there are a lot of videos out there, and really good ones, like what good old Patrick has done, the rock doctor. And let's see. You had it for so long. That was the other instance of shoulder devil. That's so true. I know. Yeah. So we definitely need people on our shoulders helping us get into the stuff that we're intimidated by. For sure. I have some more big news. So here is a cloud in the ozone. So we are getting ready to do some more extensive traveling, and we love camping out on top of our truck in our tent. Those of you who have watched some of our travel oriented rock hounding videos, like when we go to the Alvar Desert, or when we, for the Thunder Eggs, or when we were at Sunstones. The Sunstone one really has a good shot of our tent setup that we used to use on top of our truck. But we kind of needed to upgrade for when we go cold weather camping, and for when it's super duper inclement, which we seem to always be working our way into. And so, yeah, we did a thing. And there's Steve over there working on it. So we're getting it all ready for a maiden voyage. And let's see. Here's a great comment. Making tutorials as a noob is great. No better way to get every professional in the world to critique your work and tell you exactly what you're doing wrong. There's that, Rocky. But also, I love the fact that you remember the stuff that you had issues with as a beginner, and so you don't necessarily make something that's already kind of flying over folks' heads. And so that's why I feel like I'm really well equipped to do this. And so yeah, thank you, Melissa and Theo and Allison. And yeah, Rufo, that's a camper. It's like this wonderful little, yeah, this specific guy is called a casita, and it is made like a boat. So it doesn't rust. It's made out of fiberglass. It's like two boats that are stuck together in the middle and sealed with that line that goes around the middle. And so, being as that, we live in a very rust gravid zone, and where we go is, would shake the bolts out of a lot of the kind of less beefy little campers. We took a long time to think about what it was that was going to kind of fit the bill for us. And this is like a little 17-foot guy. It's got a bathroom and a shower and an outdoor shower. And so, yep, it's got a kitchen, and then it's got a place to dine, and then it's got a bed. And so, it's exactly the right size for Steve and I and our three little children that are dogs. And so it's gonna be a super good time. But lots of rock adventures are gonna happen in this. And you know what the best part is, you guys? The very, very best part is that the back of the truck is gonna be freed up, because that's where all of our gear would go, and then we'd sleep on top, right? And so now we're gonna have a whole back of the truck for rocks. Because I used to actually be on a kind of a diet of how much. There was a limit of how many rock buckets or what have you. Like when we went to Kemmerer, like I had a bin, like a tote that I could fill, and that was it, because we were on a long trek. And so, that's one of my favorite parts about this, is that this means that we are afforded more room for the stuff, and that also means that we can bring more gear. And we love to do the wing boarding and the mountain biking and all sorts of stuff like that. And so we've got room for our gear and stuff. And so, yeah, we're super excited about this. And so, looking forward to bringing you on some more out and about kinds of uh, rock hounding tours in our little ozone cloud there. And let's see. um Everybody's just excited. So cool. Thank you, guys. So we have our center stage item tonight is labradorite, and so it's a calcium enriched feldspar. The mineral was first identified in Labrador, Canada. That's where it gets its name. Thanks to Wikipedia, we have this information. It can display an iridescent effect, and that's one of the things that we love about it. Our background there is a close up of some labradorite, and labradorite is an intermediate to calcic member of the plagioclase series, so the feldspars that are the plagioclase ones, and it has an anorthite percentage of between 50 and 70. The specific gravity ranges from 2.68 to 2.72. Hardness is 6 to 6.5, and so it puts it right where quartz is. And this makes it way, way more fun for me to play with than agate. As far as, like, I'm not hating on agate. If Brian is out there somewhere, the actual hardness of agate, especially Montana agate, makes it a little less fun to both cut with your saw and also to polish. It takes the most brilliant polish because it is so hard. And so once you're done, the reward is definitely worth it. But I love labradorite so much because it feels like it takes about half the time to work in both ways. It saws really nice, and it takes a beautiful shine in about half the time as agate does, it feels like. And so I love it. 2 points of perfect cleavage that intersect at about 86 degrees. And so, that is one of the drawbacks about it. If you hit a cleavage plane wrong way, it's going to go ahead and break right apart. So don't drop your labradorite. And then also, while you're working it on the saw and on the polish, it is it has the tendency, A, to break, or B, polishing certain faces can be difficult, if you have it on the face of its, cleavage. It'll just keep on shedding. And so, if you're unable to polish, you might have to change the degree of your face a bit. And so, that is also, an interesting factoid there, because, the feldspar is directional. You guys that love your labradorite, rather, is, you love to that rolling flash that you get from it, and it matters which way you cut it, because you can either find that rolling color, uh, or you can lose that color by the way that you cut it. And so, the Labradorite that I got for tonight is from Theo. And anybody who ordered some off of his last live stream would be getting some of the similar material. It's from Madagascar, and it's just electric. It's absolutely gorgeous. And so that color is adularescence, and that's like that, the rainbow chatoyancy that it has, and it's a tectosilicate. And the tectosilicate definition is any member of the group of compounds with structures that have silicate tetrahedrons. And so we're not going to go that close with the microscope tonight to be able to see that, but that kind of explains who is Labradorite, and why we love our Labradorite so much. A little information back there. And yeah, Visage is saying, yeah, the Madagascar and stuff extreme. And so here's a paw full of that material that was sent to me. Theo sent me some pretty thick cuts. You can see the piece that's on top to the right is a chunk, and you can see the rind of it there, and you can see kind of how fat that is. And so the piece that is on the very bottom was that thick, and I cut it in half, so that I took its width down by half. And so instead of, cutting it chunk wise, I cut it lengthwise, so that I would have two thinner slabs. And that worked out very nicely, because I have the tendency to like to make smaller cabochons for jewelry use. And since I'm the jeweler, I can go ahead and choose the size of cabochon, or the width of the cabochon, or the shape of the cabochon, because I'm the one setting it. And so I don't have to worry about would somebody like it as a piece for their jewelry, or as a palm stone or something like that. I'm already into kind of the specific stuff. And we have Mr. Turtle Montana has entered the building. Everybody say hello. And Theo says, this lab is absolutely phenomenal. I gotta say, that is so true. Getting more on our return route. Really? You might need to be saving me some more there, Theo. Oh my gosh, do some shopping for me. I am now absolutely head over heels in love with Labradorite, as though I couldn't get any more in love with any of the stones that have flash. And I already really, really love feldspar. You guys know my affliction with sunstone. And so this is bad. I'm in deep. I'm in bad. So anyways, as if I wasn't loading enough on other stuff this trip. But yeah. And right, you are going to be low riding it home. I feel sorry for your shocks. And let's see. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun work. I actually had to get washed up. Thank you, Rufo. he said this, "Very cool, Karen. Can't wait to see what you work from it." And I was working up till when we were starting the live stream today with this material in the sun and just going crazy. It's kind of like working with opal, where, if you can get it out in the sun, not only are you going to be better at working it because you're going to get it directionally correct, but also it's just an eye full of goodness. I just loved it. And so, you guys will see very soon what I'm going to be making from it, because makings are happening right now between that rolling mill and this labradorite. I am cooking with fire. I wasn't doing anything. Those of you who have some more difficult gem setting missions, I put that on hold this week. You can hear I'm still sick and I'm still bubble headed enough that I didn't want to do any fine jewelry. And so the fine gem setting and all that kind of stuff, little back burner. So those of you who are waiting on pieces, they're coming, but I wasn't up to being my best. And so I like to not ruin things when I know, like, I cannot be trusted. All right. And so anyways, this is what the handful, those of you who haven't done cabochons from rough, this is I wanted to give you a chance to look at it. And the darker material on the right hand side is blue green to rainbow, has a beautiful teal body color when you get it parsed down a little bit. And that blonde material to the left is the red sheen that I was talking about in some of the lives over the weekend, because I was going berserk, or I guess that was during the week. I've only been working with it the last couple of days. And so let's see, wanting to get, oh yeah, Visage was talking about having tabletops done. I mean, wow, that would be so amazing. I'd feel like it would be so opulent that I'd be wearing the tabletop around my neck, or I'd not eat on it. And let's see. And Rufo, to answer your question, you might want to try to hit him up a few times over, because apparently he's difficult to get in touch with. And so this is actually a close-up of the other half of, I told you that I had split one of them in half. And directionally, I'm holding it so that you can see more of the color. And then you can also see where I drafted. I love to make strange shaped cabs again, because I can, and I love what kind of jewelry ideas that spawns, and what kind of other stones you can use along with, to create like a chorus of different things. And so I love odd shapes. And so you can see my Sharpie marks there for when I'm going in to do the trim sawing. And let's see. Practicing self-restraint with Labradorite, hard. Yes, I totally get it, primarily because it can be used in so many ways. Just gorgeous. And like, one of the things that I love about the Labradorite is that it, for the most part, it sits and is fairly neutral. Like I said, the body color on this material that I have in my hand right now is kind of like a teal to blue, kind of like a gray teal. Like, it's very earthy and subtle. And so it's nice because it would just go with anything, just because it's like earth tone. Goes great with, like, skin tone, hair tone, that sort of thing. But then it goes electric out of nowhere. You just catch it right, and it's like, like it's literally plugged in. And so I just think that it's you said something about it being versatile, and I think that it goes with any kind of metal because of that versatile, colorful disposition. It's just awesome. So I have to agree with you there. And thank you, John. I so appreciate you for that. We do thank you so much for doing that. The likes and the subscribes are great. I really really appreciate that. The algorithm kicks this bad boy out farther into the Friday crowds that are on the interwebs. We make new friends that way. Helps the channel. And then also, if y'all remember to throw down a comment, like if you want to lend your idea about the faceting video, toss a comment down, because that also helps YouTube know that oh, people are responding to this, and it does a good. And so thank you so much, John, for that. I really appreciate that. I usually forget to ask, and so I'm so happy that you did that. And so yeah, yeah, Rufo. Actually, I think Theo told me that, and so there's that, because I've tried the same, and so it's not easy. So I'll just leave it at that. I'm not saying anything overt because I don't want to. So, anyways, yay! Cheryl's in the house, and she's saying, "Dang it, I forgot again." I do this all the time. Like I'll be whoops, it there we go. Thanks for the reminder. Yes, I do that like every now and again. I'll slide into somebody's live stream and be lurking, just hanging out, over there on the fasting machine or whatever. And then somebody will say something like that, and it's like, oh my gosh, yeah, I gotta, you know, you slide in, and so it's very easy to forget. And so I do appreciate that. And yes, Dan the Rock Man loves this Labradorite as well. I agree. It's so like it was so hard to cut this, you guys, because I was like, oh, it's so pretty. I could just like sit here in the sun and look at it. But I did. And so there. Because but wait, it gets better. And so you can see in the jar, that's like my favorite way to dop and prepare is like I have a couple jars, and there's the ones that are getting they're shine on, and there's the ones that are waiting, and that's how I keep track of everything. And I use epoxy for my faceting and CA glue for my faceting, and I use wax for my regular dops. Go figure. I don't know. The wax works best for my regular dops, and I don't use wax for my faceting, so it's kind of weird. But here's 3 examples of the same stone. It's just drop dead gorgeous. But you can see from the picture before, how you can capture the rainbows. And Theo actually gave me some really fabulous advice after I was done with this batch. I got it right with this one stone though. Is that when you're when you're working the Labradorite from scratch like this, not only do you need to cut it on the saw directionally correct so that you maintain the color, but also you don't want to put too much of a dome on your cabochon. And I am like a big domer. I didn't even know that was a thing. But I typically like to put a fair amount of a degree of angle on the sides so that I can put the bezel on, and it holds. I don't use glue ever with my jewelry. In a finished project of silversmithing, it's done the old-fashioned way where you hold things together with the metal. And so the bezel wants to be able to close over that bad boy and hold her in. And then I usually like to put like a nice dome on there, because for a lot of stones it really really looks lovely. Like moonstone loves it, and like moss agate loves that. Anything that has like insides that you want to see into, like some of the really nice thunder egg cores that have neat mossing or pluming or whatever, that stuff all looks really great with a dome on it. Well, you lose some of the color if you dome Labradorite, which I did learn. Ask me how. And so Theo and I had a discussion. We had a therapy session for Karen as I was like, I think I did the wrong thing. And so, yeah, I would love to make the mistake so that you don't have to. And so, don't dumb your Labradorite. And if I had thought it through any more, then we probably would have figured that one out. And so, it looks like Annie, Madame Annie is in the house. Good to see you. Thank you so much for joining us. And let's see. I've watched Theo's Labradorite cutting video 1,000 times, but I still get nervous cutting it, right? Right, Turtle? Because I would very much like to cut some. I'd like to go out to Richardson's Rock Ranch and, just train my eye, buy some and cut it so that I'm starting to learn how to do it as well. Because like anything else, it's something that you can learn how to do. Uh, and yet you can do it wrong too. So here's a handful of the red sheen, and there's the mother stone there. Theo having cut it in such a great way that it was cloudy on the top picture. I couldn't get a good picture of it just glaring, but I mean, it was basically like a TV screen. It was like uniformly hot all the way through the entire thing. Again, like it was plugged in. And then you can see by that little middle guy in my palm, that's a handful of cuts there. That have been trimmed off of the slice, and you can see one of them is catching the sun really good. But again, loving the more asymmetrical cuts. I do love triangles too, but let me tell you something about Labradorite. It doesn't love being a triangle, because you're probably going to hit one of those cleavage planes, and you can see on that bottom, kind of towards the mid of the picture, I guess. The triangles, they might hold an angle going one direction, but it'll chip away at another direction, and this is a usual thing. So you might try round designs, or you can try, like curved rather, or if you like the straight lines, which is what I was going for with this handful, then you might find that you have some tricky angles to deal with. And so Willow is in the house. Good to see you. Thank you so much for joining us. We're looking at Labradorite. And so here's an example of the cabochons once they came off of their dops. And you can see the sun is going down. Actually, it's very slanty light in this picture. But you can see electric color anyway. And you can see the variety of different shapes and sizes that I got. I have some vision for the squares and the rectangles. I've got the pair of so the golden ones, the red sheen is on the left-hand side, the blue sheen is on the right-hand side, and all the way to the right row, underneath the little triangle, that pair of sort of almost squared off rectangles are becoming a piece of jewelry tonight. So that's what I'm working on right now. And so what we will do is we'll go ahead and fire up the microscope, and we're going to look at some of this Labradorite up close, because it's incredible. And I would love if you guys, I think somebody was asking in the last live what the inclusion for the Labradorite is. And so if you want to crowd knowledge this, I am not entirely sure, but it does seem like it's got these wonderful specks of dark dark specks. I'm going to be so specific. And so you can see me moving, and it's moving. So we're live on the microscope now. And this is probably, I want to say this is right about 15 times magnification. And so we're just getting in there. one telltale about your feldspars and labradorite is, boy, those cleavage planes though, and the cracks and all those things, they can add a lot of really nice, give it some character, so you can work with it or it can work against you, and you kind of just have to dance with it, to get that marriage going. Looks like we could use a little less of that. It's probably better. And can probably also work with that exposure a bit. And wow, what just happened there, guys? We got like a hue change like crazy. Let's bring that back to the middle. Where did that go? Egads. Let's hit the defaults on that. And so that is a lot more pale than what I'm seeing. So I'm going to go ahead and color correct this a bit. And that's how I had it before, although the hue decided to take a walk all by itself. That's about better. There's the distance between the microscope and the subject gets it kind of washed out. And what I was trying to do is get it back over here for the auto exposure as well. So let's take this down a little bit. And that's better. And so we're going to get closer. And as we do, I'm going to have to work some of that again. Oh, I guess that is as close as we can go. There's 4x. And we'll bring it into focus and get it sharper. We've also got it on a round, so it's dancing. There we go. Okay, so anybody want to weigh in on what those little specks are? There's confetti stone, lattice sunstone, strawberry quartz. So lattice sunstone is definitely a feldspar visage. And boy, do we love it. We love our lattice sunstone so much. I don't think Kyle is in the house this evening, but I wish I had gotten some from him when he had it, and he has some in his own collection that's really, really nice. And the strawberry is quartz, right? And I'm thinking that just dependent on what confetti stone you are talking about, I'm wondering if some of the sunstone that comes from India is referred to as confetti, and so that might be what you're talking about. I'm moving it up a little bit. And I don't want to get us into the glare, but I want to get us into some of the blue. Blue. Oh, thank you, Theo. I appreciate that as we're wandering around. Hey, guess what? The inclusions are biotype. Thank you, buddy. I love the wise. Thank you. You get to have the crowd wise tonight. I'm all about the putty. I better zoom out. So what I'm trying to arrange here, see there's museum putty holding our stone on here, but there's the glare of the microscope itself, and I don't want to have that as much. I want to get the color. We don't want the glare, we just want the color. And so I'm trying to angle it away so that we get the color and not the glare. So that was, and it's funny because you can't angle it too far away from itself, because it's part of the here, trying to get rid of the lamp is making the feldspar colorful and yet also creating the glare. So it's a dance. That's kind of where we were before. Because there's like this shocking blue in here, But of course, it's going to be shy to get for you guys. We'll keep on zhuzhing around until we hit it. See, that part's turning green now. Try to get you guys into better view here. There's your focus. And again, thank you so much, Theo. I was going to say, I'm just going to spend this on your Labradorite. So you're going to get this money back. Rest assured. But thank you so much for the support. And yeah, wow. Yep, biotite. Sweet. And Rufo says that there's some hematite and copper confetti. Awesome. And definitely something that we've been wondering about. Appreciate that. Oh, what's this? I've learned my phone only allows 3 super chats per video. Okay, guy, calm down. That's hilarious. It seems strange that there's like that they put caps on things, but somebody was talking about that actually, it seems like in another chat that I was in, that they were trying to do something and like the YouTubes wouldn't let them. You're like, well, but why? Why not? Oh, this is so funny. I'm gonna try something different here, guys. We're gonna kill that and we're gonna try this light and see if we can't get my secondary light to bring it out. And that's like, isn't this interesting how much more yellow this particular light is? And yet it's not. But it is the kind of lamp that you get with a microscope. It's so nice. It's such a clean LED. So we're back to that beautiful. And so I'm wondering if we can't find us some more of what is beautiful over here. So what we're finding out right quick is that the directional nature of Labradorite does make it difficult to get it on camera, huh? Very, very difficult to get the goods. Because what I'm seeing is this beautiful, like, violet patch right underneath the light ring. It's like, it won't let it happen for you guys. So funny. And so we might actually move to a different piece and see if we have any more luck. And so this particular piece that was trying so hard, I mean, it is screaming at me right now. Blue, just super duper extra double blue. I'm gonna try one more thing, and it's gonna take a second for us to do some playing with the no, that's not going to work either. Let's go out a little bit. And yeah, it's not getting the right angle of light. It's a Schlep 22. That is so funny. Well, at least for this piece. Very, very pretty. You guys will have to take my word for it. And that just like fries it out, makes it all yellow. That's not even accurate. All right, so we're going to put a different piece on, and you guys will get to see how colorful. And we'll take this guy down for that. And planet Earth is here. And I wanted to thank this particular piece is from Jules. And let's see, it's going to be hard to get the color, but you can see like that whole like just beautiful sky blue region was what we were trying to get. And yeah, it was not acquiescing to our request. And so we will get something else on here. One of those really bright stones from those pictures would probably be a good one to try. And so we'll get this guy down and we'll see if it's the same problem with the light circle. And while we're at it, let's get caught up on some of these. Let's see. Favorite stones are opals. I agree. Planet Earth. But I'm really into anything that is throwing some cool color. And so, with that being said, I love opals. Probably my number one, excuse me. And then after that, maybe the fire agates. Fire obsidian is fabulous, of course. Um, and Labradorite is so awesome. I'm loving it so much. I'm loving it today more than I think I ever have. So um come on this wonderful journey of love with me for Labradorite, and in the words of Thea, stop not liking Labradorite. So let's see if this is gonna maybe be a rebate on not being able to see well, but here's our Labradorite, and let's move it around. You can see there's epic color trying to happen right below that wonderful. There we go. This is going to happen. We get to go in there. Yay. Oh, cool. So going the wrong way. Let's go this way. There we go. Beautiful. Yay. So this is some of the stuff that I was able to polish, that one electric piece that was kind of the superstar that I kept on showing on the slideshow. Let's get in there closer. That is like, it has such cool variation in color as far as the beautiful blues, and then it has just like electric green tones, and then it has the purples and the kind of rosy colors. I mean, this particular slab that Theo sent me has it all. It's just, and like I said, it's got this super pleasing kind of teal, dark teal, smoky teal body color. And let's see, this little light of mine. Nice singing. Oh, that reminds me also, I promised you guys that I was going to play a song, and I probably won't be able to tonight on account that, like, I'm still having my cold, and I would love to be impressive, but I'm like kind of bubble-headed and not very dexterous, and I certainly wouldn't be doing any singing because and so anyways, I think I'm going to give you guys a rain check on that, and hopefully you'll let me off the hook. And so let me get rid of the exposure button here so that that's not in your frame, and we can take a little tour around some more. And thank you for coming by, Chris. Awesome. And this one's definitely more extroverted, and it has some really interesting color variation. So, I'm daring to move it. Hopefully we don't lose it as far as like what the lighting decides to let us see. Now in here, I'm wondering if I can swing it around so that you guys can see what I'm seeing, because there's like this electric pocket right. Let's see, let's zoom out a little bit. Yep. She said out. So you can see some of it electrifying a bit. a little overexposed there. Take that down again. There we go. And I'm going to scooch it because this has this pocket right in the middle that is like throwing this crazy rainbow. Whoever ends up with this stone, I'm setting this, and I think I'm going to set it with a sunstone because, of course, uh, the feldspars want to go together. Look at how the light is catching on the strands of the cleavage planes, and it's going like crazy illuminated. Ah, man, that is so cool. Oh, this is such a this particular one. I love it so much. It's going to be actually hard to. I can't wait to set it into a piece of jewelry, and then starts the lamenting that, then I have to say goodbye to it at some point. Because you just can't keep everything that you make. And so that is just so spectacular, the way that it is throwing this light, and that sort of there's some pink magenta flashes going on the left hand side. That's real, like that's really happening, but like way brighter here. No, Karen's having notes to self, like that the stuff definitely translates different when you're looking at it in through the camera, like what the camera can handle as opposed to what you are seeing, for sure. Oh, don't you totally want to swim around in it? And that was kind of my thought to begin with, was I've taken a couple pictures of the Labradorite now, and every single time I just take a tour, and it's so pleasing to just wander around in the color that it it becomes a long session usually. And so it looks like we're having, oh, see, that's what I'm trying to share with you guys, is this like hellacious flashing that this stone has. Like, we're getting lucky with this angle. Like, that is what it's doing all over. Look at that. That is such a cool, like, these pockets of rainbows, like you're seeing up there in the right hand corner. That is so cool. Wondering if I can get that any better into focus. It like wants to focus on the middle, and I guess there's maybe just a slight amount of curvature there, but man, that is so bright. If it is flashing me, I will consider it luck. And welcome in that opal guy. We're playing with another rainbowy thing, not opal. And it's like next best thing, maybe, to the opal. Yeah, zoning into that like patch of like deep blue. See about getting closer into that, and maybe we'll go back up to that flare. I just wonder if I move it, if the flare will go away. But it would be fun to travel into it and see what it's made out of. So there we have 40x, and I keep on bumping it, and it goes out of focus. But you can see it even traveling through the rainbow where it is in a microscopic way. That is so neat. Let me get rid of your exposure box there. And as I turn it, of course the light is killing that one part. But see, oh man, that's so cool. And then it comes alive through the dark part. It's like the dark side of the moon, right? And it's turning into the sun and becoming illuminated, but with these wonderful rainbow bits. Look at that. That's really cool. Thea was telling me about this material, that like there's these kind of black patches through it, but if you get the black patches even in the right lighting, then they go lavender on you. There we go. That's what we were looking for. I love it's just aurora borealis kind of stuff there. And Melissa's saying a good trick to know is that feldspars will glow a reddish color under UV light where the quartz doesn't. And yeah, what's interesting is I don't get a whole lot of UV play off of the sunstones. And so I'm wondering if that might be for certain feldspars, because I've wished that my sunstones would glow more, and they don't. Got one right here that I was actually just looking at. That one has red in it, so that one might be cheating. And the moonstones glow just white. And then I can't remember what material. You guys might have to help me out. There was something that Kyle thought was a sunstone, and I'm not sure. I think he found out that it wasn't, but I got some, and it's really awesome. It was like black sunstone or something like that. And so I thought we would do a little comparo with them and see about their structures. And so at any rate, this is a gorgeous piece of that rainbow, mostly blue and green flash, but you can see it just gets into all sorts of aurora colors. And in this particular piece, red and gold, the whole rainbow, but predominantly like the blue flash. And then we have the red flash. So we do this. So the piece that we were just looking at, a stone aurora, yeah, is this guy here. And I mean, that's how bright it is. I'm not doing anything. Look at those fingernails. Yeesh. That's lapidary fingernails. Whoop. But yeah, wow. Super, super fun. I can't wait to set that guy. And then we've got this guy. Yeah, Cheryl just said it's got silver flash. It's got it all. I cannot believe what a cool stone that is. It's stupid nice. Like I said, it's going to be really hard to say goodbye to it. Never tried it with Oregon sunstone. Yeah, well, we'll do that in a second because I have this specimen here so that we could do the feldspar comparo. And so we'll get around to that. And I have come to appreciate the rainbow diffraction patterns of fractures. Hard to get away from those in opal. No kidding. So yeah, definitely. The just in mid thought, like slightly distracted. So we have the feldspar here that is the labradorite that is that blonde, and then it also throws a super, like, let me get this directed towards the light. It's over to my that way. It's just shockingly red and gold and yellow in those colors, and sometimes it contains some of the greens and blues too. Really, really, really in love. Like I don't know which one I love more. I don't know. If I had to choose a child right now, it would just be really hard to choose at all. And so let me get that into the frame for you guys so that we're not looking at putty, gallery putty. That stuff is awesome for holding on to your stones. If y'all ever need something to babysit your stones while I use it on my ball vise for jewelry, and you can stick your stones into it too. And so everybody close your eyes. This is overexposed. I gotta work the exposure magic here really quick. um and we'll bring that down, and there it is. Okay, so it's already throwing some. So here I am, like, telling you about the red, and the first thing that it's going to show you guys is that green and blue, but like it's got this blonde body color, and oh, it's just predominantly such a pretty color of red in there. So cool. And so these inclusions that are dark, actually, that's where the gold and the blue and the um, green like to reside. And then the body color all around it is kind of getting washed out by the way that the camera wants to read it, probably because red is like low frequency. But the uh the whole rest of the body color is like this beautiful copper red. And so we will dive in some closer and see if we can't adjust the attitude of the microscope so that we can see this. Gotta love digital cameras for what they do. I mean, those of you who do a lot of work with the opals know, like, trying to take the pictures of the color of the opal accurately is like, yeah, forget about it. It's pretty hard. One of the things that I really love about the labradorite also is that it's translucent, and so you end up having, there we go, darken it a little bit so that we can get some of that color. um, you can have these moments of the sun shining through it, and it's perfectly translucent. And in this case, the body color is very straw. It's this, like, this really pleasant neutral kind of gold tone. And then you start seeing the flash, and the flash is so saturated that the stone isn't clear anymore. It becomes this incredible electric sign, and you get, this fantastic wash of saturated color. And so I like it because, it's like sort of cool and neutral and unassuming, and you can see through it. Like for earrings, they get backlit and they're beautiful. And then wah, it like dances into the right light, and it just becomes this, neon light. So beautiful. Um, Let's see. Since opals have H2O content, is there a way that's easy to keep them wet? Oh, you guys are having an opal conversation here. Yeah, put them in a plastic bag with a paper towel that has water on it and seal it. Um, that's the, like, I don't know what question I'm answering, but Planet Earth was asking that question. Um, I mean, as far as, what you'd be wanting to use that for. Chunk of white feldspar that had Schiller-like lab. Um, that sounds exciting. Where did you find it, Cheryl? It's always so exciting for me anyway to find feldspar in the wild and all the different ways that it presents. Because the Earth's got a lot of feldspar on it, and then it does some really, really cool things. And those feldspar crystals, getting integrated into other things. So we'll take a little walk around here and see what kinds of other colors we might be able to find. I'm leaving that exposure button on there so that we can still play. And the angle isn't liking the red as much, but it sure does seem to be doing a number for the green and the yellow. So we're getting at least a nice view of that. I'm gonna pull that up just a little bit. Whoa, that was way too much. Leave that there and see if we can't get something to flash. Another thing about this is like you're getting that rainbow. It almost looks like the rainbow lattice sunstone in the way that, like, at least you're getting the rainbows flecked off of the crystalline formation here. That's really happening too, is that these guys are just throwing these stupid cute little rainbows all over the place throughout. It's just got all of these sparkles on it. Very, very pretty. I'll move this around over here. We haven't checked out this side. There's like quite the blue flame there. A little too much light on it. It's getting very, very close to the light circle. I'm trying to avoid you guys getting the light donut from the microscope light. Let's go into that. And so get rid of your square. Lighten that up. And bring in the focus. Look at the crystalline structure as we get closer. Still bearing your rainbows. That's lovely. And oh, we have some words from Pulitzer. You know what's funny is like I'm obviously not all the way better. Let's go ahead and do that. Still suffering, and it's making me bubble-headed enough to forget that we came up with that wonderful application of the music. And here we are sitting in the quiet, although you guys are carrying on the great discussion. But we can definitely, for this little tour through the stone up super close, we'll get some of the music on here, and that should make it a little more enjoyable. I guess we need some volume on it too. I panned out from the music that we had before. Let's take a little tour through some of the zones here to see if we can pick up a little bit more of the red just right here. Change the angle a little bit. That's why we've got a dark side, but it is helping us. Almost coming off the pink, but it's got like that sunset red to like a copper pink to it, so it's somewhat accurate. That's a great green window there. Wow. I just love that Labradorite has the technology within it to take the light and make the spectrum happen in such a unique way. It's just some nice crystal stuff going on up there. Different angle on it. See if that improves anything. It looks like a bunch of the terminations of the direction of that biotite. I'll give full credit for being super interesting. I just found this one to be particularly cool because I'm so used to seeing the more teal Labradorite that the fact that this one had so much red on it. The slab was like such a treat to have something that different. A little blue spot there. Yeah, I could just Labradorite gaze with all these pretty saturated colors, like, for the rest of the evening if I didn't have a pair of earrings to make. Yeah, I just love the interesting color field. This one, a bit more on the shy side, but like I said, it's so important for its the direction, and with our microscope, it's a little less kind. I'm gonna try one more thing. There's our museum putty. Very pretty, very pretty. Holding it. Let me bring it into focus. A little experiment here. Yeah, it's Schlep 22. It's gotta be tilted towards the light, and then you start getting the glare. And so that's something that I need to figure out. So that we can have our cake and eat the Labradorite as well. All right. And so what we're going to do is we're going to switch this. And how about let's put the sunstone on right now and have a look at that. And we'll put it underneath the UV so that we can see what's going on with that. And yeah, the piece I just had on is not UV reactive. Get it. Go all the way here too. Everybody in turn, make sure you've got your hydration on. So here's our Hamlet. It's the ham omelet for sure. And work with this terrible scrambled eggs situation that we're looking at here. So there's you a very, very big red dot sunstone, like by my standards anyway. Um, the sunstones, I'm gonna stick my finger here. That's a big one. And so those of you who wonder why we don't have, huge multi-carat sunstones around being common, it's because they just don't come large unless you're super lucky. Own a mine, fill in the blank on that. I want to exposure down on this a bit. Oh, not all the way down. Let's come back a little bit. So this is a feldspar as well, a cousin of the Labradorite, and it's a plagioclase as well. And we're gonna kill the light. Still not totally dark in here, but here's our black light. And it's just not that reactive. It's just reflecting back the purple because I don't have the kind that has a really good filter on it. And so at least not a whole lot going on with the sunstones. And I have just used the black light on a clear one, and not terribly different than that either. And so let's take our target down a bit, a little bit more accurate there. Okay, so I think because we've got it, we have it lit from above the stage, that we're probably not going to see a whole lot. We might see some of the schiller. Yeah, it looks like we've got some schiller lines in there. But then I'm going to go ahead and switch it, and we'll get a we're on dark stage right now. We'll lighten the stage. And so I'm not sure if that beautiful spray that we're seeing at the bottom, no, those are definitely platelets. I was going to say not sure, but we just had to get a little closer, and sure enough, those are the copper platelets in the cherry red section of this particular sunstone. We're just picking up the platelets, and you can see the darker ones actually to the big spray that is on the bottom of corner of the exposure box. You see those, and then you can see them shadowed red just right next to them to the right, at the same angle. Let's see if we can get closer. And I'm gonna see if we can't put that a little bit more in the center. Ooh, that's nice. That is some red rain right there. So we're losing a little bit of the light off of it because we changed, but you can still see where those platelets are. This is Oregon sunstone. Surprise, surprise. Big, huge cherry drop that I've got to work up the confidence to facet this bad boy. So let me get rid of your exposure box. Sorry about that. And let's get a little closer. So I was actually also reading your comment there. Pulitzer Prize, Pulitzer Opal rather. Let's go ahead and pop this up here just for a second. Recommend storing Australian opal in water, and before you wear it, rub it with your fingers to put a thin coating of finger oils on it, and that should prevent it drying out. Now, that all being said, I have a collection of opals that I've had for over 30 years, and none of them, like most of them, are boulder opals. I do have some Lightning Ridge and some Cooper Petty, Um, and I haven't had anybody crack who wasn't cracked. Like I had some in my collection that did have some fracture, and they didn't uncrack, but like the ones that I had that were okay, didn't didn't crack. And so a lot of times with the Australian opals, they're stable to begin with. It's some of the other opals that you need to be careful of. Now that being said, I was worried when I moved from California to Arizona. I figured that I was going to get some sad opals out of it, and luckily I didn't lose anybody. And then I moved to Oregon, and I think my opals couldn't be happier. So that is a phenomenally good shot, actually, of the platelets, the copper platelets that make up the schiller in the sunstone. I just love this. And I just wanted to get the exposure up better because we weren't quite as close as we could go. I'll just move this just a little bit to see if we can't see some of those red platelets, because we're getting the light is bouncing off of the shower curtain of platelets up high, and then it's going into the ones that are not lit, and those are just gorgeous. Let me get rid of that. Trying to, as far as our depth goes, trying to reach in there and get those as best as I can. We've got some layer of feldspar in between us and them, so they're not getting real crisp with the magnification that we have. That's not bad. So the labradorite and the sunstone have in common that two-way perfect cleavage. So while you're working with your sunstone, you do run into some of the same problems where you can have just a part of it want to flay right off. And even when you're taking it off the dop at the very, very end, it can just like fall in half, because some part of the jarring made it cleave, and the adhesive that was keeping it on the dop might be holding it together until you're done. And so they can be little heartbreakers, but that's some pretty neat stuff right there. The copper platelets that we have in the Oregon sunstone, it's the only sunstone that contains the copper platelets, so it's unique in that way and makes them more rare than diamonds, because it's the onlyest place where you can get this kind of a sunstone on the planet. So that goes for the rainbow lattice as well. As far as Australia and the rainbow, it's like the onlyest place that you can get that as well. So still a beautiful opal discussion going on there. And Melissa says it sounds like I'm in a tunnel. Am I in a tunnel? Oh, my vocals are competing with the music. Okay, hold on just a second. Let me turn that down. Sorry about that. John is correct. And I'm a yammering on. I wonder for how long. Hopefully that's better. Let me know. And then Ryan came in and went out. And my voice is choppy at times. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. And that was way back because I was in the micro zone chatting about sunstones. But we're back, and let's see. I don't have any of the rainbow lattice to look at. Believe me, I would be throwing it under here right now. I almost got a piece the last time that Kyle had it. And I would like to get it from Kyle. And so, if he should turn up with some again, I'll probably end up with some, but I unfortunately do not have any to show you this evening. It'll be on my list. I definitely need some, on account that everybody, I think, needs all the different kinds of feldspars in their lives, right? And yeah, Melissa makes a great point about the platelets, and they definitely follow a formation of this sunstone's kind of lattice. And so they appear to be scattered like snow or confetti, and they call that style of the platelets a confetti, when they're just in there and they seem to not have a whole lot of rhyme or reason, but I bet you they do if you get down to a microscopic level. And then there are these wonderful pieces where there's just these kind of rainstorm lines of them just kind of going through the sheer material. It's just very, very cool. And let's see. They found some rainbow lattice in Tanzania. Oh, very cool. All right, so there's some in Australia and in Tanzania. Um, wow. It's exciting. Yeah, Jenny. And welcome in, Jenny. I didn't see you come in. Yeah, Kyle did have some, and yeah. It was very tempting to want to get some. Although it's expensive when it comes across. You might put a little something aside so that you're ready for it when it comes. And so really quick, I think we're gonna look at this last bit here. Now, this is a material that Kyle said on the live that he thought was a sunstone, and I can't remember if it was or if it turned out to be something else. And I think that he was calling it black sunstone. And so we'll go ahead and have a look at this. This has like kind of like a platelet thing going on as well. Let me zoom out so that you can see. Wrong way. Zoom out so that you can see what the material looks like. And it here, let's do that. There we go. It is lovely, and it does remind me of some of the Indian sunstone that is kind of more of a copper color, coppery orange. And let's see. There we go. And we can get closer. It's just made up of a series of all of these little platelets too. And now I can't remember what was supposed to be the constituent of this that makes it have that, but you can really see the shapes of what is intervening in the body through the center of the frame there. And let me take our little exposure thing off. And we're getting a pull of the light sheen. I'm wondering if there isn't something, a little something on my lens. Any good lattice is basically a museum piece, true visage. And so, yeah, difficult to get good stuff without paying some museum prices, it feels like. Oh, and that's interesting. So it's got a pinker body tone. It was quartz. Oh, with graphite. Yeah, there you go. Thank you, Melissa. I totally couldn't remember. And I don't know if any of you guys do this, but you'll have your stuff from Kyle and you'll forget what it was. You're like, okay, I got to hit that invoice or I got to hit Kyle up for what it was that I got. I do have that happen a fair amount. There we go. We're getting crisper on the bits of graphite. I think this is really beautiful material. And so it wasn't so much like I do have a feldspar weakness. And so I like the idea of trying to collect as many different kinds of it as possible. And so there was that element. I did, want that out of the deal. But I mean, look at how pretty this is. Um, it's not it's not a disappointment, to be what it is. It's absolutely gorgeous, and I can't wait to make something with it. I don't ever buy anything off of, the Kyle sales unless I already kind of am, like, feeling this purpose, like, "Oh, that would look so good in a bracelet," or, "That would look so good paired with these other stones." And so, yeah. This one was definitely calling out, and I think that the kind of translucent, suspension of the graphite is really quite elegant in the piece, and you're definitely getting a feel for that, up close, and yeah, Melissa's saying, "I definitely had to ask Kyle what something was before listing the jewelry on my store, LOL." Yeah, I totally, totally hear that, and that me too. It's worth, trying to get that opinion, and so, just for giggles, I doubt that there would be anything that would be UV reactive up in here, but we'll do. Oh, that's interesting. It does have a little something something, over here on the corner. Have I gone too far? Uh, where'd it go? Maybe you have to sight this in with the light on. There. It was over here on the bottom end. I'll zoom out. And let's do that again. It's just fun to see stuff glow anyway. There. So that could just be the friendly glow of our silicates, but it's kind of a fun little channel of blue. Gotta get, the UV fix on real quick. There it is. And now we all feel satisfied. So, fun with the UV light. Always got to thank, Lisa for making sure that we have UV for everybody, to enjoy, during the lights out periods. And I think that just to remind everybody, there's that Topher Spin meteorite sale. They can't really sell the meteors. Um, the meteorites, are going to be on sale on Sunday. Of course, Kyle always has his lives on, Saturday and Sunday as well. Theo should be having a video drop on Saturday, and I'm probably going to endeavor to get some work done as far as like fossil prep or something like that on Sunday. So there's a possibility that I'll go live on Sunday to get some of that done, and I would like to do some, experimenting with the platform that y'all could help out with. If we're not, roaming around in that little marshmallow of an ozone cloud, which I don't think that we're going to be able to. I'm still sick. You can still hear it, and so I need to get better before we hit the road. Oh my gosh, Tiger Eye. Oh, that is so sweet. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. You're too kind and you're too generous. And you've got something coming. So, like, Yeah, it's gonna be good. I can't wait until you get it. And thank you so much for the support of the channel. I really, really appreciate you for hanging out and for helping to make sure that we have like a great platform. I'm sorry if like some of the visions were a little off game today. As far as the microscope goes, I'm going to make sure that all the lenses are squeaky. It seemed like we had like a little blur and that music thing, and so we're still getting stuff figured out with this wonderful platform. I want to make sure that stuff is like the best it can possibly be for you guys because it's super fun to hang out, but it's even more fun when there's like a little bit of a show going on. I like that, and so we'll make sure that that's going on for you guys. Kyle just entered, and so thank you for coming in, Kyle. I was your ears must have been burning. We were just talking about the live stream that's going to be going on tomorrow and Sunday, and I got a question for you. Did you go to Rick Riel today? And if so, was it fun? And oh my gosh, and Tomcats just showed up as well. And I gotta say, Tomcats, not just for the Z's, but also there's cats involved. Like there's two of them, not just one or three if you count Josh as well. You know, there's like a whole pack of cats there traveling around in the van. And so also I'm wondering, my goodness, where are you in the world? Are you back to Oregon, sir? And Allison is saying, see you there Sunday at 3 o'clock. You feel free to share that link again, Allison, since we're making reminders happen. And uh, yeah, everybody's asking, "Oh, Tiger, right? You're too sweet. That's so nice. Thank you. You're fabulous. You guys are all my heroes too, Tiger Eye and all y'all for everything that you do. It's so much fun being part of this community and seeing what you guys do on your channels and in the other lives. If you don't have a channel and all of the giving that everybody does to each other over there on the Discord and on Kyle's lives and stuff like that. It's just absolutely a pleasure to be part of this wonderful community. And Visage, welcome, welcome into this wonderful community. I'm so glad that you had a chance to join us, and we'll be over there on the Discord, like rambling along and bumping along with all of our rocks all week long in between all the rest of the lives and podcasts and things. And it looks like Tomcat Josh is in Miles City in Montana. So, oh, I hope that you're getting your Yellowstone on. Fantastic. And Kyle was wrangling a little human. Very good. Definitely a worthwhile thing to be doing. Oh, and he did spend a lot of money, almost too much. Oh, well, I'm looking forward to you. Feel free to share some of those spoils with us on the messenger that we all use. Fire obsidian, opals, agates, and slabs. Sounds like a good time. Pack of cats, right? You got a whole pack of cats. Good. Allison did share the link. And so you've got the link for the meteorite sale that's going to be going on. That's going to be great. Yeah, we all want to see that. So I reckon you're probably going to share that with everybody on the live stream over the weekend. And you're welcome, Jenny. Thank you so much for hanging out. I really appreciate it. And thank you for reminding me, Kyle. He is telling everybody to bring your own calculator this weekend for the live stream. So, you've got a calculator on your phone, so you know that you have one available. It's 25% off sale this weekend. So I hope that everybody's got some coins to rub together. After you drop it on the your rolling mill, after you're done doing that, then go find some stuff to set over at Kyle's rock sale for sure. And let's see. Oh, and John was talking about things changing for Kyle. And so there's a question there. River says hi. Hi, River. It's so good to see you. Love you. Love you, kiddo. That's sweet. Thank you. And so Kyle is answering John that he'll be live all weekend and then off next weekend. Yes. And I thought I had read that as well. And so one day, says Tomcat Josh in Montana, fingers crossed. Good luck, man. May the rocks be with you. Truly. And so will you grind 25% of the stones for me? That's great. um, and Theo's telling Josh to have a great time in Montana. Yeah, sorry. And Allison shared the World of Rockhounds Kyle's link on the chat. So if you're having trouble getting over there, she has helped you out. And Annie, thank you so much for coming. Cheers to you. And oh, River had a big smile. Oh, that warms my heart. Oh, she's so cute. I will come and see you soon, River. I promise. It's gonna have to happen. Daw, says Melissa. And Salam Da 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 da. Every single time. Like that's what goes through my head. I can't say it normal. Thank you, Rocky. Da 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 da. Um, thank you all for coming. And so, cheers to you and all of your loved ones. What's in your elk or stag mug this evening? I hope it's good. I hope that you have wonderful adventures all weekend long. And I know I'm going to see all y'all and some of the other chats and live streams over the weekend. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to send you out. I'm going to put a little bit of music on so that you can say your goodbyes in the chat. But I'd like to thank Melissa and Allison and Annie and Rolling Rocks just popped in for the credits. Oh, sliding into home base. Kyle and Tomcat, that Opal guy, Rocky, Mountain Bear, Jenny, all y'all, my mom, Visage, welcome. All you guys are awesome. John, of course. I'll be playing the uke the next time. And I will see you guys all around the hood. I did say that Opal guy, right? And all y'all that are out there, they're lurking, and our wonderful Tiger Eye, of course. We will see you. I'm gonna put some music back on for the outro, and cheers, Steinkerns, and I wish you the very best of a weekend. Like I said, let's bring this bad boy. We'll see ya. We're gonna do this.